The marketing mix is made up of the four P's of marketing: product, price, place, and promotion. We're going to look at each individual P individually, and this video is looking at product. So the product is the good or the service provided by a business in order to satisfy the consumer's needs and wants. There are four different aspects to product that we need to know about in leaving your business. We're going to talk about the product design, about branding, about packaging, and about the product lifecycle. So under product design, of course, when designing a product, a business should be careful to consider the following things. The fact that it is functional, that it does what it is supposed to do, it's fit for its purpose or does what it's supposed to do. The fact that it uses quality materials and what materials they are, making sure that they're ethically sourced. The manufacturing of the product to make sure the business has to find out how it can be manufactured, where the manufacturing base might be, whether we can do that in-house or whether we need to outsource it. The appearance of the product, it needs to be attractive for consumers to buy, and of course the cost of manufacturing. Um, if the cost is prohibitive, then consumers will not buy it. It will be too expensive. You need to be able to produce something affordably in order to get people to buy it. Now, branding is a really important part of any product. A distinctive name or a distinctive logo, which is easily identifiable as part of um, a company's identity or brand. So many companies, it says, or many firms develop a brand logo with images or words or shapes used to identify a brand, its goods or its services. Of course, the book gives you the example here of Lidl or Tato as familiar brands. You guys know some of the biggest brands in the world, such as Nike, um, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, whatever those brands are. And we looked at a video in class of the importance of brands over the last 20 years and how some brands have grown and grown, like Apple and Amazon, and some have fell away a little bit, like Coca-Cola. The advantages of good branding for a business is that it gives you instant recognition for your company. Straight away, you can see that is a Ford or a Volkswagen car. You can see that is a McDonald's restaurant. When you're introducing new products, an existing brand, it's easier to do that with an existing brand because if Volkswagen bring out a new car, well, there's a certain loyalty there with Volkswagen drivers, and they'll assume it's a good product because they already trust that company. So therefore, you might be able to charge a higher price for branded products, and because of that loyalty, and also branded products have more exclusivity at times. And of course, I've touched on the fact that there's consumer loyalty. And of course, the advantages for consumers are that some consumers buy branded products because of the image that they bring, high-end branded products like Gucci or BMW, for example. Um, the product itself can be of a very high quality. You are usually not disappointed if you buy a branded product because you know what to expect from that brand. High quality products. We've talked a little bit about own brand products already during class and how Tesco, SuperValu, Dunnes Stores have their own brand products. Um, and there are big advantages in that for retailers. Um, they can manufacture to their own specifications. They earn a higher profit because they're cutting out basically the suppliers, and they can develop consumer loyalty, and they can hit different target markets. We looked at the difference between the Tesco value range and the Tesco finest range, and where market segmentation came in there, they can target different target markets within their own shop. However, it may cost them more in advertising because they have to invest in advertising to promote their brand. Um, it may affect their business reputation if Tesco bring out a Tesco own brand bar of chocolate, which is disappointing. Well, people in general might turn off Tesco as a supermarket because of that. There can be a high level of cost, and sometimes when an economy is going very well, and there is an economic upturn, people turn away from own brand products and turn towards more expensive branded products. Um, Packaging, sometimes packaging is called the fifth P of marketing, but typically we include it under the title of um, product. And the purpose of packaging, well, obviously have to protect your product. It gives you an image, and it helps to display your image. Um, it needs to be convenient. It needs to have certain information on it, and it needs to have instant brand recognition. So, if you're talking about a product like, let's say, a bag of Maltesers, well, um, the packaging needs to protect the Maltesers so that they don't get all squashed and broken within the pack. Um, the brand, the image, it's a red packet and it's very instantly recognizable, and it has that image of kind of a lighter way to enjoy chocolate is the logo and it's or the slogan. Convenience, it needs to be suitable, so they've got different packaging for different target groups. Um, a sharing box or a mini bag for small children, or a bag that you eat at the cinema, or whatever it might be. You obviously have to have all the nutritional and information and ingredients information on the pack, and that brand recognition that I've spoken about instantly when somebody walks down the aisle of a supermarket, they can spot that box or bag of Maltesers and they can say, that's the product that I'm looking for. And the fourth part about product is the product life cycle. And we looked here at um, the five different stages of a product life cycle: introduction, growth, maturity, saturation, and decline. Okay, and you need to be able to identify products that are in each phase of that stage. So in the introduction phase, sales are low as the product has just been launched to the market. An example there might be um, the driverless cars like the Google car. An example might be the um, robotic lawnmowers that we spoke about, things like that. Then you have your growth phase, and that's when a product sales increase, and the business invests more in production to keep up with consumer demand. So perhaps we talked about Amazon Alexa there, or maybe reality VR headsets, things like that. Then you have maturity, and items that are in the maturity phase are where they reach their peak, and businesses will have a positive cash flow here. They're selling lots of them. So you're talking there about smartphones, something which is all around us. Um, Saturation point, when sales and cash flow begin to slow down as consumers have purchased the product, um, and perhaps they don't need to purchase it anymore, or perhaps they're also buying it from competitors now, so it's widely available. Sometimes footwear and clothing can enter into that saturation point, and then they have to bring out a new range in order to rejuvenate their brand again. And then finally, in decline, sales and profits decline because the consumer must decide whether it is suitable to continue selling that or to retire the product. The obvious example of decline is our fidget spinners, our DVD players, things which were at saturation point and have entered into decline. The product life cycle can um, be very long for some products and very quick and short for other products. So the fidget spinner's life cycle, well, was it 12 months from introduction to decline? It really burned very brightly and then disappeared very quickly. Whereas a product like, like the Maltesers that I was talking about, well, they've had a long, long, maybe 50-year life cycle so far. And of course, you can extend the product life cycle by bringing out more and more versions of the same product. And that's what Apple do with their iPhone. And so once they reach maturity, then they bring out the iPhone 10, 11, 12 to move that forward. FIFA do it with their FIFA 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's extending a product life cycle.